Don't worry about that big red X. These are safe and effective. I suggest everybody will get them. Be a good citizen. Don't worry about the X on the screen. Be a good citizen. Get your vaccine. They're safe and effective. Okay? Just to be clear. What's up, Patriots? Welcome to the CG Patriot podcast, Awake with Reason. Today is April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day, and it's Thursday, the day after Wednesday. If you're just joining me here for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, and then hit that like button if you like the video. So yesterday, I got into an interesting topic. I want to stay away from that topic today, but I did want to share with you that I found out kind of what that one particular chimera looking image was in that video, and it was just a happenstance that I found it. So I actually ended up getting served, I think it was another video about, I don't know if you guys heard of this before, the Tatarian Empire. So if you haven't, check it out. Just type that into DuckDuckGo, probably best option. There's some videos on YouTube though that talk about it. But the interesting part was that chimera looking dragon horse thing is actually literally exactly the same character that is on the flag for the Tartarian Empire. Not kidding. So I'll throw that in the video in a minute. I'll overlay that photo on here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So it'll be right down there. Crazy, right? So what I wanted to get into today, and I'm going to have to use my words wisely, all right, is this guy, okay? That guy that goes there. So I got a few friends, actually more than I'd like to. One is too many. I have friends that are more than willing and happy to go ahead and get this done, right? So, you know, the crazy part is what I said in my last video, and it was a little bit too hot for YouTube, was exactly what the folks in this video I'm going to show you say, and it's a newscast. So if I get fact checked on this one, then this newscast video has got to get fact checked too. So this was on, let me go ahead and share this with you real quick. Hold on. Okay, here's the title of the video, by the way. Okay, so this was posted today. This was actually posted today. So I knew this was coming, okay? I definitely knew this was coming. It's been talked about, but this video is going to blow your mind, all right? So again, I got to be safe with the words I say. So if you see here, let me blow this up. See my eyes go like that, then you know, all right? All right, so I've marked some times off in this video. Let's start it from the beginning, and then let's go through some markers on here. The markers go through interstate commerce, how it works with states, how states are creating or are going to be getting more funding from the government to require this thing we're looking at right here, that this is not, I can't even say it, right? And that says this in the video. So YouTube, if you want to take this video down, then you got to take this video down. And this video is actually by CNBC. Okay. It was just posted today. So I'm just posting what they post. All right. We're just going to talk about that. And I'm just going through the cliff notes, exactly what they say. So, and they mentioned that the only way to create a mandate for this is that if it's a group buy-in, meaning if the majority of the population ends up buying into this thing, how brick and mortar places like salons and restaurants are going to advertise this as a benefit, almost like a safe restaurant. You've seen that video. I don't know if you've seen it yet. You know what? I might put it on the front of this video. I might try to slice it in, but there's a video going around with a bunch of those Petalwood folks trying to push this sticker that's going to go onto onto stores. And the sticker, I saw this a few months ago, actually, and it's been circulating on Twitter. So the other one we're going to get into is how businesses can actually, the possibility that businesses can not hire or get rid of current employees if they don't get that guy. Crazy, right? And then implementing financial perks for getting that guy. Ridiculous. Yeah, guys, something is, look, I'm going to go off on a little rant here. Something is, I'm going to get into this with you. I got to talk to you about this. All right. Something is going on. Okay. There are folks that I know that I would never in a million years think they would get it. In a million years. And it's as unreal as, I mean, I had to, I'm walking around my house today and I can't believe it. And I'm not upset, like super upset about it. I'm actually just using all my energy to put into this video on this subject, and then I'll, calm down. I'll be fine afterwards. So I'm not getting like mad about this, but it is on my mind. And I think I want to get you guys' feedback, dude. We are, the majority of our population currently somehow, some way is getting brainwashed. And we know the MK Ultra, right? We know the Mockingbird media. We get it. That's a layer. But this is above that. This is like 4 or 5 steps above that. And maybe it's because I'm so awake that I see it so clearly. But this is next level magic, satanic, incantation craziness going on. And it is so far beyond Twilight Zone that I personally have to laugh at it. I had to tell my wife, who I told today, I'm like, aren't you glad that that you found me and that we're married instead of finding somebody else? Because if you're married to the person that's awake during the the end times. And I was just making a joke, but it's kind of true, and I'm glad that she's awake as well, So, but that being said, it's something's happened. I'll find out. I'm gonna make it my job to find out. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna ask God for some input on that. I want to know what is in the water, if you know what I mean. What is in the water that's making folks so effing brainwashed? Crazy. And we know what's in the water. All right, we get it. Starts with an F. But that being said, let's get into this newscast, because the vaccine has nothing to do with the vaccine. The vaccine is safe and effective. Okay, safe and effective. The vaccine is safe and effective. All right, let's get into this. Let me look at these markers. Let's get into the first part of this, and then we can get into the rest. Here we go. All right.
Record numbers of Americans are getting vaccinated against the coronavirus.
The U.S., the most vaccinated large nation in the world.
Dozens of countries are now working to vaccinate their populations in an effort to end the global pandemic.
President Biden says that by the end of his first 100 days, the United States is aiming to have administered 200 million doses. And by May 2021, every American adult who wants one will be eligible to get in line for a shot. That said,
the vaccines are safe and effective, guys. Safe and effective. Okay? Safe and effective.
30% of U.S. adults still don't want to get the COVID vaccine, but they may not have much of a choice.
The federal government can require vaccination and things like that for coming in and out of the country. Both the state and city can have vaccine laws based on their legislative authority.
Requiring a vaccine is a health and safety work rule. And employers can do that.
Bonnie Jacobson knows this all too well. The Brooklyn resident was recently let go from her job after refusing to get inoculated.
I was sitting at home and I all of a sudden just opened an email. I'm sitting on my couch and it said basically, well,
like, see, here's the thing, Bonnie, look, the vaccine is safe and effective. Totally. Like, you should definitely get it. It's absolutely 100% safe and effective. It's gone through trials. You know, these people, I don't know why anybody wouldn't get it. To be honest, I just don't know.
we respect your decision. At this time, your employment has been terminated.
So can you actually be forced to take the COVID vaccine against your will in the United States?
Okay. I don't need to get into history. I don't want to make this too long. I'll put this link in the description. I just want to get into these parts here. So let's start at minute 5. And this has to do with interstate commerce states. And then it's going to go through how the states will get more funding from the government, possibly to enforce this.
What they do is they make recommendations.
There are, however, softer powers at the federal level that have been used before to incentivize mass inoculation.
The federal government has acted in the public health in the past using other parts, such as its commerce part. So it could, for example, mandate vaccines before you travel in the interstate channels or before you engage in interstate commerce. If you're a truck driver that drives across state, maybe the federal government can mandate that you'll be vaccinated.
The power of the purse is another key tool in Washington's arsenal.
It can pass a law saying states will give you $3 million if you mandate the vaccine, but that's up to a limit. It can't do it to the degree that's coercive.
The federal government could also, theoretically, impose it as a condition of getting a passport. So states and cities can require vaccines, and the federal government has a lot of influence as well. But the big question is whether the government will actually go through with rolling out a universal mandate.
All right, so you saw that part. Now let's get into the not, starts with an F, okay? So that's going to come up. I'm actually just going to continue this out. And by the way, YouTube, the video CNBC is saying this, not me.
The first challenge is we won't have enough vaccine doses for people who want them. You can't require vaccines that's not available, that people can't get.
Another major factor to consider, none of the 3 COVID vaccines in circulation here in the US are fully licensed by the FDA. Instead, they are all cleared under something known as an emergency use authorization or an EUA. Until
Just
they are
in case,
officially approved,
I want to make sure you guys heard
cleared
that.
under something known as COVID vaccines in circulation here in the US are fully licensed by the FDA.
Require vaccines
They're
that's
safe
not
and effective,
available,
guys.
that people can't get.
Another
Safe and
major
effective.
factor to consider, none of the 3 COVID vaccines in circulation here in the US are fully licensed by the FDA. Instead, they are all cleared under something known as an emergency use authorization or an EUA.
One more time.
Another major factor to consider, none of the 3 COVID vaccines in circulation here in the
I'm just at this point in the video, I'm just going to let you know that these, don't worry about that big red X. These are safe and effective. I suggest everybody will get them. Be a good citizen. Don't worry about the X on the screen. Be a good citizen. Get your vaccine. They're safe and effective. Okay? Just to be clear.
US are fully licensed by the FDA. Instead, they are all cleared under something known as an emergency use authorization or an EUA. Until they are officially approved, mandates seem to be off the table. And then there's the even bigger question of enforcement.
Mandates to some degree depend on pretty widespread compliance. You can't enforce a mandate if 40% of your population is fighting back. If the problem is widespread mistrust, mandate won't fix it. You need communication, you need education, you need to earn the people's trust by transparently showing them that the vaccine is safe and effective, by explaining to them the process of approving it and so forth.
And keep it
Let's touch on that again.
Is safe and effective by explaining to them the process of approving it and so forth.
And keep in mind, they are all cleared under something known as an emergency use authorization or an EUA.
Of approving it and so forth.
And until they are officially approved, mandates seem to be any city
You need to earn the people's trust by transparently showing
why
them that
this
the
video
vaccine is safe and effective,
keeps
by
going
explaining
backwards.
to them the process of approving it and so forth.
Use authorization or an EUA. Until they are officially approved, mandates seem to be off the table. And then there's the
Showing them that the vaccine is safe and effective, by explaining to them the process of approving it and so forth.
And keep in mind, if any city or state did implement a mandate, the kinds of
Okay. All right. So as you heard, it's just an education thing. So I'm helping educate you guys right now. Safe and effective, 100% emergency use. Nothing to worry about. All right, let's get into let's go forward. I've got some notes here. I never take notes, guys, by the way. I'm not much. This never happens. All right. So mandates, blah, 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 back to mortar. Okay, let's get into where are we at? We went through 6. Okay, so we're gonna go 9, 12. See, I know your time is valuable. This is why I take notes now, guys. Safe and effective. Safe and effective.
to ask what they should do about the vaccine.
Clients of mine that are most interested in making a mandatory vaccine a condition of employment are brick and mortar operations that have a lot of foot traffic from their customers. They view it as a selling point. Look, you can come into our business location and it's safe because all employees have been vaccinated. That's particularly important for restaurants, bars, gyms, and salons. And so my clients in that segment of service industry are particularly looking hard at making it mandatory as a sales point to their customers.
Well, this
I just had to say, my man needs to comb his hair before he gets on camera. I'm sorry, dude. Straight up. Oh my gosh. All right.
Point to their customers.
While this is in part a PR tactic,
Right.
it's also totally within an employer's rights to roll out this kind of requirement. Legal experts say private
There you go. So it's so great because, I'm not gonna have to worry about that. So I'm not gonna have to worry about compliancy because, I'm gonna get it and we're gonna be good. Like it's because it's safe and effective, guys. Safe and effective. So this one goes into the 1040. All right.
Clients who are struggling with this issue have said, well, while we think it's a good idea to make it mandatory, we are going to make it voluntary, but we're going to try to offer economic incentives, bonuses, as well as paying for the vaccination and offering optionally, if the family wants to have the vaccination, to pay for that too.
Also,
Whoa!
because an EUA is not
You get a bonus. Got to explain how you're going to use that bonus though. When you're on vacation, if you know what I mean. Permanent vacation. And then we'll go ahead and reinforce something real quick. This is where it is. Goes back to our buddy here.
Because an EUA is not a license, there is a legal question as to whether you can mandate an emergency authorization.
Well, they're not a fully licensed product. So the ability to
Let me hear
require
that again.
Emergency authorization.
Well, they're not a fully licensed product. So the ability to require your employees to be vaccinated will be highly controversial.
Authorization.
Well, they're not a fully licensed product. So the ability to require
YouTube, just FYI, CNBC is saying this, not me. I'm playing their video, just going through it with my audience here, letting them know that the vaccine is safe and effective. If you guys need any more COVID vaccine information, I'm sure it's going to be a COVID-19 information at the bottom. You're going to see get the latest information from CDC about the COVID-19. I suggest you do that. It's definitely a good reference point. Okay.
your employees to be vaccinated will be highly controversial. In fact, to require your employees to be vaccinated.
Mandate an emergency authorization.
Well, they're not a fully licensed product. So the ability to require your.
All right, guys. Well, hope you guys are having a great day. I'll put this in the links below. As you can tell, I'm losing it a little bit. I don't think I'm losing it. The funny part is the more you wake up the more you have to kind of let things go. So the more subjects, and I'll kind of end on this. Yeah, I'm going to get on a soapbox, not a soapbox, but this is more philosophical thing. All right. So the more I wake up and the more things I realize and understand, the more I actually have to unload. All right. So I know that when I talk to some folks, one of my questions is, I got an old man thing back here, by the way. One of my questions is, in the beginning, when you go through these stages, you go through mad, sad, angry, upset. I mean, all of these things, right? And what I realized is that if I'm taking on a new, I have to let an old go. Okay. And I've been getting more and more comfortable with taking on, well, I've always been comfortable with taking on new information, but letting go of old was the harder part. And now it's almost instantaneous thing. I take in new information, the old goes, because it doesn't serve me anymore. All right. So if you guys are struggling, if you're in the angry stage, and I fluctuate, I'm not there all too often anymore. I mean, I've given the power. Well, I didn't give the power to God. He's got all the power, but I've surrendered. This past year, it's 100%. And well, I can't say 100%. I would say 95%, 90 to 95% of the time I surrender. I'm human, so I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to get angry. I'm going to say stupid things sometimes. But I'm going to realize that, at the end of the day, you got to surrender. So bringing stuff in that's new, seeing what you could drop that's old, lighten that load a little bit. The best part about, this movement is that the truth is extremely light, okay, to carry. The truth is extremely light to carry, okay? And what would be the opposite of the truth, right? I would say the lies or the things that don't, I'm going to say it this way, the things that don't jive with you spiritually are the things that are weighing you down and you don't even realize it. In the truth, when you replace those, it's again, like dark to light, right? So you become lighter. You don't, you go throughout your day and you don't feel as heavy as you used to. I most of my life, other than when I got into my issues with drinking a lot actually, that was I'll tell you about the story later, but I had my issues, and the only times I ever lied was when I was under the influence. And for the most part, again, I'm human, so I would say 98% of the time. But the thing with me is that it's easy for me to stay in a conversation with somebody and not have to remember what I said prior to the last conversation, is because I don't grab for falsehoods. I don't grab for like lies that make me look better at the time, or telling a story that's not true and then getting caught with my hand in the trap. So generally I have the personality type to where a good majority of what I say, when I'm conscious of saying it and not doing it subconsciously, is the truth. And so it's a lot easier for me to remember exactly what I said in the past. So again, I'll get off my soapbox. I want you guys to have a great day. I'll end it there. And check out my other video that I posted yesterday. That thing's mind blowing, guys. It's crazy. And I've had a bunch of people reach out to me that know a lot of stuff, more than I do. And they're like, what? So yeah, check that out. It's in the links below. If you're just joining us here, welcome. And you guys have a great April Fool's Day. Hopefully something happens. We'll see. Something good. That's what the 107 said a long time ago. But we'll find it. We'll figure it out. Just, stay positive and stay frosty.